Keith and Dave talk all things rugby league on the Dockhouse Rugby Show, with news, match reviews and special guests from the world of rugby league. Also available in audio format as the Dockhouse Rugby Pod. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Dockhouse Rugby Show. Today we're joined by one of Oldham's longest serving members. It's Mr. Brendan Sheridan. Brendan, welcome to the show.
Hi guys, good to be on, mate. Thanks for the invite.
Oh, thanks for coming along. It's great to see you. What have you been up to? Been up to much?
Not much, mate. Just enjoying a bit of time off. Pretty intense season last year, so but yeah, just putting my feet up for the last couple of weeks that I can, and straight back into it in November.
Yeah, well, that's a lovely little segue because we're going to do another show with you, Brendan, and we're going to get to know all about you and Oldham and your time there and everything. But today we're going to talk about the grand final. It is the end of the season, the big finale, the curtain raiser on this year's Super League. Dave, how have you found the season?
I've really enjoyed this season. I think it's been intense. You had three clubs finish at the top of Super League on the same points, which shows you it's quite a tight league this year. And the top two have gone through to the grand final following, certainly one very tough semi-final. The other one we'll talk about in a bit was a bit easier. But no, I've thoroughly enjoyed the season. I think there's been a lot of good rugby league and I've enjoyed watching it and reading everyone's comments. There's been lots of talking points. And you're right, it's the grand finale, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
Brilliant. Well, what about you, Brendan? Will you be watching the game?
Yeah, I'll watch it. It's I've not really caught much of the season because it's just rugby mad with everything I'm doing. So I can tip myself over the edge if I watch too much rugby. So, but obviously I've kept an eye on it. But like I said, the two best teams over the season are going to fight it out. So it's going to be a tough one to pick.
Yeah, and we've got a new horse in the race at the grand final. I mean, you know, they've been thereabouts for a long time. Catalan, often been the bridesmaid at the Challenge Cup. But how do you think they'll fare against Wigan, Brendan?
Oh, for me, I think it's set up for them to win. I'm going to tip Catalans. I think the game at the weekend against Saints, you know, it was a tough battle. It was just for Tompkins to go out on it, lifting the trophy. But it's going to be a tight one, a very, very tight one, because Wigan are one of the best defensive sides in the comp, and you know they've earned the right. So yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
I enjoyed that semi-final. I like low-scoring games. Not everyone does, but for me, I find them much more enjoyable because the tense. It's a war of attrition. And the try counts for so much more when there's fewer in the game. And that game had that tenacity and that tension all the way through. And you couldn't really say who you thought would win right up until the end. It was very, very close. And for me, there was a turning point. I think it was about midway through the second half, maybe slightly before. And Saints were in front. They had Catalan tiring. They looked tired. They were hanging in there, but they looked exhausted. Saints were on the up. They had attacking ball. And I thought if they scored again, you know, they go 2 scores in front. It's probably too much for Catalan in a tight game as they're tiring. And they gave the ball away. I think there was a knock on. There was a turnover. Giving away possession is a massive no-no when you're in a very tight game, low-scoring game. And then on the back of that, they give away a 6 again. And I'm pretty sure in the same set, they give a second 6 again, which then led to Catalan coming away with some points. So you've had attacking ball, you're on top, you've got scoreboard pressure on the opposition, and before you know it, you're back on the back foot, and Catalan go in and score. And it was set up right at the end there for a drop goal. I think it was the second opportunity for Sam Adney. He dummied off fate because he chased him down.
Yeah, they closed him down on the first attempt.
Yeah, and went to close him down again, and you know, step, and it was a cracking handoff. I think on the second rower on Sheridan, and showed enough pace against a tiring Saints defence to get under the sticks. And there's not a great deal between those two teams. You know, Saints are still a top draw side, and easily could have come away and won, but Catalan probably got it for hanging in there, doing it tough, and probably good for the win. And as Brendan says, it's really set it up for the final with Sam Tompkins against his original team, where he had a lot of success. So is it Sam Tompkins v Wigan or Catalan v Wigan?
Well, I think the way that they're hyping it and the way it'll be going, it'll appear to be Sam Tompkins versus Wigan, and the Sam Tompkins show, won't it? I mean, and a fitting end, to a career for him. But yeah, I mean, on the other side, there was two others. One of them was the GOAT, who James Roby, who would it have been nice to go out, but he has won every major trophy that's on offer. So, is it good for the sport? Is it good for rugby league, Brendan? Do you think that somebody else is there other than one of the big three, as it were? Though I suppose we have to count Catalan as the big three because they've always been thereabouts. But it could be a brand new name on that trophy.
Yeah, it's good for the sport. I think it shows that. I think it was in the media today about expansion and it takes time. And Catalans have proved that they've over the 20 years that they've been in the comp, they've got strong. And at some points they finished as second from bottom, but they've built nicely and they've got the foundations in place, and they've been to a couple of finals, won a Challenge Cup, and it's fitting. Obviously for Saints fans, and it's devastating that Robes didn't go out on a high, maybe with another win, but it'd be great to get another name on there. Plus, it's a big draw, and it'll bring some more fans through the gate, and probably watching the game that it's two different sides in the final on Saturday.
What did you think of the other semi-final, Brendan? Wigan and Hull KR?
Yeah, I think it's Wigan are just a quality outfit out there, and I think they just strangled them, to put it that way, but. Or it's Hull KR, they've reached the final and then they've reached the semi, and it's been a good season for them, but it was just one game too far. Wigan were just too strong and too professional, and and that's what sides like Wigan and your Saints and now your Catalans they're doing big games. They squeeze the life out of you, and they apply pressure in areas where other teams can't. So unfortunate for Hull KR, but like you said, the two best sides over the season are going to fight it out on Saturday. So it's going to be a bell ringer. So it'll be a good one.
Definitely, I think it's worth a shout out for KR because I think they've had a brilliant season. They've achieved possibly above their aims at the start of the season. They've played exceptionally well. They deserve that spot in the semi-final, and everyone hoped they would put up a good showing, but unfortunately Wigan, as you said, were just too strong, certainly used to those big games, and Hull KR will learn a lot from having that experience. There need to be more big games like that to learn how to win them. So hopefully they do come back stronger next year, and everyone else will have to improve, and we'll see Hull KR maybe go a little bit further in future. But you're right, it's down to Catalan and Wigan. So can we tie everyone down to guessing the score?
Oh, score.
Yeah.
Start with the winner then. Start with
I'll go,
win and then maybe a score.
I'll go Catalans 12-8.
It's a good shout, that, Brendan. I like that. I like that flavour. I'm also me head and my heart here are saying two things. I'm going to go Catalan. I'd like to see them win it, and I'd like it to be 16-12 to Catalan.
I wish I'd gone first and not asked everyone who they thought would win, because it's going to be all three of us saying Catalan. I think because they've been there before and they missed out, and because they've done it tough in that semi-final, it's really set them up. They've had that arm wrestle, setting up well for the final. I think it's going to be really low scoring. I'm going to go 10-6 to Catalan.
There we have it. It's a landslide vote of opinion for Catalan.
Play it now, do they? We already know who's going to win.
Yeah,
Three of us have said they're going to win. They must do.
There we go. I'm not even going to get to see it actually because I'm filming on the day. So I'm over in Rochdale. But there we go.
Lovely Rochdale. Well, we'll keep updated.
Yeah.
So if you're watching at home, please pop your predictions in the comments box on YouTube. We love to hear from you. We love to see your comments, and Dave, myself, and Brendan will pop on there and give you our opinion, be a thumbs up or a thumbs down or whichever way it goes. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Dockhouse Rugby Show. Brendan, it's been great to have you on board, and we look forward to your episode where we talk about you and your career. And if you want to see that episode, please have a look in the Dockhouse Rugby Show on our YouTube channel, and it's coming soon. Don't forget, after tonight's show, leave your views in our comments section. We'd love to hear from you.